Well, good morning, everyone. Happy Monday to you. I'm wishing you health and happiness today, and I hope you had a wonderful weekend. I saw some of you posted prom quarantine photos, and they were beautiful. Thank you for sharing. Um, if I seemed a little bit distant last week when I never came back on, it's because I'm just about to publish the yearbook, and I'm very proud of it. It's very beautiful. But when we went on quarantine, we were 17 days away from deadline. So those were 17 days that my students could work on the book, and unfortunately, they weren't able to do it. Most of my students don't have Photoshop at home, or if they have Chromebooks, you can't even use Photoshop on a Chromebook. So I've had to go ahead and finish pages, but it's come out really nice. It's such a beautiful book. I can't wait for you guys to see it. And we're almost sold out. So if you haven't bought one yet, make sure you do if you're interested in having one. So, anyways, so I'm working on that. So I was a little bit distant last week. I didn't get back to you about Walt Whitman. I apologize. And I'm going to be a little bit distant this week until the end of the week, and then I'll be back full force. So you have everything you need to be doing Gatsby. I've noticed you guys have been doing your screenshots and turning in your work, and I've been updating that regularly. So if I haven't marked something in yet, know that I will, but not until the end of this week. The sun just came out and made me all sorry. Make sure that when you upload a screenshot, that you upload the correct screenshot. It's always funny. I always get somebody's like cat or weird camping photo, because they've uploaded something else by accident. So, you know, uh, you want to make sure you know how to do that for college. So, like I told you before, when you screenshot something, make sure you don't leave it as screenshot or whatever. Make sure you title it something related to what you're submitting. And, I already told you make a folder on your desktop or your device or whatever. You want to do the same thing in college. You want to organize by classes. You want to organize by it's kind of like categorizing. It is categorizing and subcategorizing, just like you do in science. Okay, so you want to do the same thing with your computer. Like this is my science folder, and this is my folder on organisms within my science folder, or whatever, and do it that way so that you're always organized. Otherwise, when you get to college, your computer becomes really burdensome because it's hard to find things. Um, so just keep organizing, keep practicing career and college ready, and doing your thing. So I had said in my message to you that I was going to talk to you a little bit about Walt Whitman. I'm going to give you a little Walt Whitman teaser while I finish doing the yearbook. So Walt Whitman is what's called a cataloger. And a cataloger is somebody that it's just like getting a catalog in the mail. Imagine that, okay? Or picking up a catalog at a store where there's so many things inside of it. You're like, oh, I want this, 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 I want this. Okay? Walt Whitman was that type of poet. He was a cataloger of America, okay? And so when you read his poetry, it's like being with it reminds me of being with like a little kid walking through the nature center with them. It's like there's a squirrel, there's a bird, there's a tree, there's a bush, okay? And so he's been described as a photographer of words, of early America. And I love that. I love that idea of that because remember in the 1800s, photography, we're seeing the birth of photography during that time period. And it's not like today where you guys have your phone and you can document everything with it. You can document your entire life, what you eat, who you hang out with, where you go, all of those things. I mean, think even my generation couldn't do that. I mean, when we got disposable cameras and Polaroids, man, that was a big deal. And then you'd have to make sure that you had the money to get it developed or get the film. So you guys have this amazing tool at your hands. And I've told you before that technology is a double-edged sword. It's a great thing, and it could be a horrible thing, because you have to be careful about what you post and what you say and those types of things because it's there forever. But, off that, so Walt Whitman, think of it like a photographer of words, basically. Um, cataloging what he saw and America during that time period and creating a snapshot of America during that time for all of us today. So I always consider, Walt Whitman is like the IG influencer of that time period. And when you use your IG, I mean, think about it. You are cataloging. So we're going to be doing a project soon, um, probably starting next week, related to Walt Whitman and snapshots of your own life now that you're out of school and on quarantine that represent his poetry. And I have some friends that are going to help me create some cool things to show you next week. So that should be fun. We're also going to be looking at Emily Dickinson. Walt Whitman and Emily Dickinson really shaped the change of poetry in America from like this classical European structure to like a true like American thing. And Emily Dickinson is the exact opposite of Walt Whitman. She's a miniaturist. So if you were outside with Walt Whitman and he was looking at a tree and he was like, oh, look at that tree, look at that branch, look at that leaf, look at that flower. Okay, Emily Dickinson would be like, so, anyways, we're going to be looking at that. Okay. So, I want you to continue on with Gatsby. If you're working on the essay, I want you to go ahead and continue on the essay. No rush. If you're not ready to turn the essay in this Sunday, the first draft for me to look at, then turn it in the next week. But you don't want to spend so much time drafting that, you know, you don't want to do that with writing. You want to just get it out. Okay, so write me a first draft. If you get it in this week, great. If you don't, get it in next week. If you have any issues or you need help, make sure you let me know. And I'm on the computer, like I said, doing the yearbook, so I'll be responding all day and all week. So take care and have a wonderful Monday. And let me know if you need help with any work. I can help you with other classwork in other classes, not math, but you guys are doing like finance and stuff, and I'm like, I don't remember that, but I can help you with everything else. I love you guys lots. Bye bye.